Kia ora, this program is brought to you by Wellington Access Radio. Wellington Access Radio, make your voice heard.
You're back on the Blackhouse on 106.1 FM. How are you? And we're here with Onkyo, our special guest. And what's been happening, Onkyo?
It's been pretty busy. I think there's just a lot of events happening. And
you went to an event last week?
I did. I went to Peachy Keen. That was really awesome.
Who organised that? What was that?
I think it was their first year putting the show on. It was just to support all like women artists, so it's only like the lead singers and stuff. Yeah.
Wow. I hadn't even heard of it, but yeah, it looked really packed at the Basin Reserve when I went past.
Yeah, it was mean. It was really good.
Oh, well, hopefully it'll be on again next year. And
yep.
Yeah, and we won't have COVID to stuff up our festival season.
Exactly.
Right,
exactly.
That's the way to go. All right, first up on the show today, well, actually, you're going to be here for as long as you can. I know you have other things to do. We've got Nathan Diggs, and he's a board member of Changemakers Resettlement Forum, chairman at Diversity Networks, former president of the Victoria University of Wellington refugee background students, and he's a real estate agent, and he was also the key initiator of revamping the African Community Councils of Wellington from this meeting that happened a while ago before the 20th of December. Yep. And basically, I'd just like to welcome you to the show.
Thanks, Tessie. I'm so pleased to be here today.
I'm glad you came in. Yeah. You know, like we were expecting another person to be sitting right next to you. Yeah. And if he's out there listening, soccer, right? Soccer comes first. We'll catch you another time, my friend. All right, just to start out with, tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, you know, like when you came to New Zealand and the things that you're passionate about.
Oh, well, I'm actually from Liberia, West Africa, and I came to New Zealand at the end of 2018, so I've been here a little over 2 years now. And I'm passionate about people. I'm passionate about the community, uniting people, bringing people together. I'm passionate about humanitarian. I've been involved in a lot of different humanitarian works.
Whereabouts?
So even though I'm from Liberia, but I used to live in Ghana, and I also used to live in Malaysia. In Malaysia, I started this center called the Destiny Center for Refugee Kids.
I saw that.
Yes.
I saw that on your Facebook page, and I wasn't sure. Is this one of these things that people say they did, but they didn't really do it, but it just makes their Facebook
But if you go to that page, there's actually a page. If you go to that page, you see my photos, you see the kids.
Wow. Yeah.
And that was something I got myself involved in Malaysia, and that was quite cool because I'm so passionate about people. Yeah.
Where does your passion come from?
I think from the fact that I grew up as a refugee, and I always had this sense of giving back to society. When you grew up as a refugee, you went through struggling times, and you grew up in a refugee camp, at a certain point in your life, you just want to be able to give back to society. So at a certain point, I felt that way that I needed to give back to society. And because of that, that became the motivational force that was pushing me to do what I'm doing. So, I started to give back to society and started to look out into the communities for different needs to be able to fill those needs.
Right. I've found you, since I met you at the first meeting, because the whole thing really kicked off at the whole revamping of the ACCW really kicked off at this Luo event, when there was a lot of people from not only the Luo community but from other communities were present. And I've found you to be very articulate and very insightful for a person of your age. Now, I don't want to guess your age. You can volunteer it if you like, but I'm thinking you're in your 20s.
Yep, sure.
Yeah. So, and you're very, very mindful. I love the way that you express yourself online. You've got those organizational skills. You have those natural organizational skills. I would actually say I'm not surprised that you are a board member and the chairman of, and one of, and all this sort of stuff, because you express the way you express yourself is actually quite diplomatic.
Thanks.
I'm nothing like that. I've actually been told to, can you just say a little bit less, because don't be angry. And I'm like, well, that's me. Get over it. So I'm not very diplomatic at all. So what is the skill set you think that you bring to all of these roles that you've done in the past? And, considering you've been here for a couple of years, I think you've been very engaged. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just tell me what you think about the skill sets that you bring.
I think some of the skills that I bring passion. I'm passionate about what I do. And I always love to see people organized. I always love to see the right thing done. So whatever capacity I found myself in all of these different organizations, I'm passionate about being in those organizations, and I'm passionate of seeing the right thing done. So, you could say I'm sort of an administrator. So those administration skills, because establishing an entire NGO in Malaysia, remember I'm not from Asia, and to survive in that environment, it helped me develop that administrative skills and to put things in order. I ran that organization for 3 years, and I left it running. It's still running. And so getting myself involved with all of these different groups here in New Zealand, I'm just trying to look out to see that the right thing is done from an administrative point of view. So I would say I'm more of an administrator, and I bring that role to all of the different groups.
I think with organisations that are using constitutions and how constitutions are being used, do you think that everybody in the community, and when I say everybody, I mean not just the people that are commenting in the WhatsApp group, but also people that may be just watching, understand the Constitution? Do you think that they understand that the Constitution is created for the people, by the people, and the Constitution doesn't run the people? It's, if you know what I mean, the Constitution isn't concrete. Once you've had that election and everything, the Constitution is malleable. Does that make sense? Do you think everybody actually understands that, or do you think that there's sort of another message that the Constitution is fixed and concrete?
Yeah, I think there needs to be more awareness around the Constitution, and people needs to understand how the Constitution works, because even though the Constitution is like a guiding factor to guide the organization, but then again, like you said, the people are the ones making the Constitution, and it cannot be used against the people. I see in some cases people will use the Constitution in their own interest. People will amend the Constitution because it suits them. People will try to play with the Constitution in different ways. But then at the end of the day, I think the people is more important. I think there should be these ongoing discussions around how can we improve ourselves as a people, and how can we view this Constitution? What are the changes that could be made to improve the entire organization or the well-being of the people? I think for me, I value the people. I value the people, because anyone could manipulate the Constitution. Anyone could play around the Constitution. And we have seen it in the past. It has happened in so many cases. So what is important for the community is the people that is involved in the organization. They need to be aware of the Constitution, yes, and then they also need to be able to always examine the Constitution, see, does it meet up to the timing? Do we need to change things in the interest of everybody, not just in the interest of few group of people that are trying to probably, run the whole show or trying to, So, I think the Constitution is a good thing, but the people need to be more aware, and the people need to understand that they are the ones that holds the power. Okay, the true power lies within the people.
Yeah.
So, I think that's my view on that.
Okay. Now, you brought up, sorry, I won't say that. I won't say his name. But there was a really interesting comment that came up at the meeting. And this was about asking how many youth were in attendance. Now, as we've gone along in these meetings from the beginning, from the 20th of December, the youth attendance has been quite low, if I say so myself.
Right.
And I really wanted to see more youth in attendance. Tell me what you think about what could possibly, now this is your opinion, and it doesn't have to be the opinion of everybody's. It's just your opinion. What do you think is not happening? Why do you think that the youth are not engaging as much with this as say, I would like to see? I would like to see it be at least 80% youth.
Yeah, that's right. In my view, I think the youth have been observing the process, or have been, looking at the ACCW for a long time. They know the ups and downs. They know exactly what has been happening within this ACCW. Some of them got frustrated and decided just to be on the sideline, just sit on the fence and watch things going on. And I think when we started to revamp the whole ACCW, I think the youth got excited about that, and it raised hope within the youth. Because I remember from the first meeting we had, there was not much youth. I think the third meeting, there were lots of youth that turned up to that meeting. I was even surprised to see most of my friends and a lot of people at that meeting, which was a very good sign. But then,
which meeting was this?
Was, I think, the third meeting where we put together the interim team.
Oh, yeah.
And there were parents bringing their kids.
Yes.
And that was a beautiful meeting, because there were a lot of youth that attended that meeting. And they didn't only attend, but they spoke out.
Yes.
But then right after that, the ACCW or the community fell into, trying to argue, and there are a lot of different opinions concerning different things. And I think people don't want to be caught up into those things. It's like, if they don't get it right, probably I'll just sit aside and see watch what happened. But I think if we got it right, okay, as a community, you'll be surprised. There are a lot of young people that are sitting out there. They want to get involved, but they want us to get it right. If we got it right, they will come on board. They don't want, headaches. They don't want arguments. They don't want struggling, here and there, pushing here and there. So I think probably they are watching keenly, and they are observing, and they want to see what will happen next. And I think this is the responsibility of those who have been dedicated with the power to unite the community. I think that's the responsibility, to make sure the right thing is done so that they will be able to attract the young people. I think more need to be done around attracting young people, and that will start with stability. When there is stability, when there is understanding, when people are willing to lay down their own personal interests for the sake of the greater good for all. I think when you see those kind of things, they'll be like, oh yes, I think we are ready to come on board and everybody's on the same page.
I was also curious too, what do you think young people have that maybe some of the older people, like people like me, my age and older,
doesn't look
don't have an advantage on, especially with communications?
Yeah, I think the key advantage would be technology, because we live in a time of technologies, and the youth can make use of that. Most of the youth, they are up to date on technology, which is a very good thing. Technology could be used in our interest immensely to enhance the community. So I think that's one of the advantages that young people bring. And besides that, young people bring new energy. They bring new passion and new strength to the table, which is good for the community, because you want the community to last. You want to have a succession plan. You want people, young people that will grow up for the future, that will run the community in the future. So I think why the elders have played an important role and continue to play an important role, which I salute them and respect that. I think it's a beauty to allow the young people to push them, become that support system and that pillow where the young people could stand on and be able to achieve. Because, I mean, within a few years, most of our elders won't be around. You have all of these young people around. So if you prepare them now, if you push them now, what you are doing is that you are stretching the lifespan of the community. Yes. You are giving the community an opportunity to go way beyond. But if, the elders feel that, we got all of the experiences, we got all of the contacts, we got all of the connections. The young people that are just coming up, they don't have the experiences. And I don't think that would be so fair.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think at this point, what we're going to do is we're going to jump to a track for a couple of minutes. And first up, I've got the lovely Makuka. With Time and Space. Now, Makuka is originally from Zambia before moving to New Zealand at age 8. Makuka is a multi-talented musician based in Auckland. Time and Space is described as a tone-setting track for her recent EP, initially writing the song as a means to de-stress and recording it in her bedroom closet. Time and Space carries its relaxing and laid-back energy throughout. This is Time and Space. And this is Makuka.
You need time and space to work on your mind. Sticks and stones may break your bones. I need time and space to work on my mind. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but never hold me down for long. I like it better when I'm smiling. I like it better when I'm shining. I like it better when I'm listening. I like it better when I'm glistening. Love, I like it better, better, better. 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 I got love and grace to work on my mind. Sticks and stones will build my throne. Now watch as the mountains move. I like it better when I'm smiling. I like it better when I'm shining. I like it better when I'm listening. I like it better when I'm glistening. Love, I like it better, better, better. I like it better, better, better. I like it better, better, better. I like it better, better, better.
And we're back on the Blackhouse 106.1 FM. Nathan.
Yes, we're back.
Nathan, there's been a fair amount of debating, wanting to be heard and or get the points across at meetings. What do you think is the biggest hurdle the ACC would need to address immediately?
The ACCW would need to immediately unite the communities. The communities have been apart for a long time, and everyone in their own little corner. The ACCW will have to work to unite the community immediately, and that involves recognizing the view of others, recognizing and respecting the view of others. Every community part of the ACCW have a view and they have something to contribute. I think that is important to recognize. Let their voices be heard. And I mean, those are some of the things that is needed. They need to also look into, building a strong community and just bringing people together. Because you see, we are strong when we are united, and we are weak when we are divided. Yeah. So they will need to look into uniting the community that are involved, engaging the communities, hearing people out, and just listening to people's views, respecting those views, and working on those views to be able to better improve the community.
That was something that I actually noticed about your communication style when you were still with the working group, because you left the working group for your own reasons, and I don't need to go into that here. I think everybody involved kind of understood what was going on. But that was something I appreciated about your communication style, was that you were able to be diplomatic and see all sides of the picture and not devolve the discussion into personal attacks or things like that, or gaslighting, just these behaviours that I think take us away from the issue. Do you think the way the ACCW is currently structured, with its structure and the governance. Now, this is something that I don't think would need to be addressed, immediately right now, because it is what it is, right? But do you think that young people today can identify with that kind of structure or even work with it, or does it seem a little bit unnecessarily complex?
Yeah, I think it's a bit complex. I think the entire structure would need to be overhauled.
Right.
And I think there are lots that needs to be done around the structure that is in place, because the current structure as it is have excluded people in the past, and we want everyone to be involved in the voting process, involved in every little process. In fact, everyone needs to be involved and informed. That was why at my time with the committee, I was so passionate about getting the message across, so that everybody could be informed of what is happening. Because once you are informed of what is happening, you'll be able to make informed decisions. And that is very important for the community, because when people are making informed decisions, it just helps the community to improve. So that was why I communicated the way I communicated. I made sure that every little information went out there, and people will look into those information and judge it for themselves. Yeah. So I think the entire structure as it is will need to be overhauled, transformed, and so that it can work in a better interest of everyone.
Right. Yeah. Do you think that the communication has been as thorough as you would have hoped, or do you think that the communication, there has been communication breakdowns?
Yeah, personally, I do feel that there have been communication breakdowns, and I feel that the current communications that is going on could be improved, could be even better. Sadly, personally, I feel that even to some extent, there are people's voices that have been quite, kind of silent to some extent, because if you view out your point, immediately that point to some extent is looked down upon, because people feel that, if I don't agree with your point of view, then your view is not good. Yeah. My view is good because that's the best one. So I think people need to be neutral. That's why you mentioned about being diplomatic. Yes, I try to be diplomatic because I know there are both sides of the coins. Yeah. Okay. You have to put yourself in a situation where you think in the case of other people. What do other people think? What do other people feel? And then you try to be balanced and as neutral as possible, because you are running a community or organization with diverse background of people from different cultures, from different way of life, and everybody see things differently. Yes. So if you find yourself in the midst of these things, you have to really try as much as you can to be diplomatic about whatever you do.
Do you think that time you spent running an organization in Malaysia really gave you experience about how to do that?
Yes, that really worked on me, and it helped me improve, because you see, I found myself in a situation I was dealing with people from Myanmar, with people from Pakistan, from people from Sri Lanka, Sri Lanka, and from India, and from different places. And when you are dealing with people from different cultures, it just helps you. So it helped me a whole lot to develop the skills, how to relate to people, how to interact with people from different backgrounds and from different viewpoints. So yes, I would say that really helped to refine me.
Yeah, that was also something, recently the Tanzanian president passed away, and Professor Lumumba was speaking about how he really was quite like the first president of Tanzania, Nyerere, in his spirit, in his kind of outlook on things. And I just saw that on the YouTube. There was an interview with Professor Lumumba, the man I'm talking about. Right. So, and one of the interesting things that Professor that Nyerere did was he always made his ministers work in other areas that were not their tribal areas. Do you think that's a part of being able to work in, like, even though Africa is one continent, we're multicultural, and we've also got a diaspora element, which is growing up outside of Africa. We're also part of this melting pot called the app. Do you think that ability to be able to move in different circles is a very important one for this kind of organization to be successful?
Absolutely, I do think so. I think it is imperative of us to be able to understand the various cultures, not only our own cultures, but the culture of other people. We need, because we are all part and parcels of the puzzle, and different parts. So we need to understand the different groups involved so that we can be able to make good decisions in the interest of everyone. If I don't know how other people view things or how other communities see things, I could make a decision based on what I feel and what I know and what I used to from my own community. And then that will cut an entire community off because probably they see things differently. So, but if I know and I understand how they feel, if I know from what point of view they are going to see things, it will help me to balance my decisions. And I think this is a very good thing for our community moving forward. The next group of leadership and even the current interim team, they need to really look into understanding the various groups' background. If that involves going into these various communities, having a chat with these various community leaders, and just trying to understand what the community think about certain issues. And that will be really important because it will help us to build a really strong, vibrant community.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I'm also like, that was actually something I was thinking about, but I was also thinking about those communities that don't have leadership. Like, for example, the communities that have grown up here, because I know for a fact that I belong to that one. Like, if we're going to say I belong to a community, it's the community that's grown up here that is also of African heritage, right? And I know for a fact that a lot of young people, when I was young, I'm not young now, but when I felt kind of shut off from it because it seemed to only focus on Africans that had grown up in Africa and then moved here. But we've got another community that's here now, and those are the ones that are born here and raised here, that are the way they think about things is quite different from, I understand how the elders think, but I don't have to live by those things. You know what I mean? I've got more of that flexibility to move away from it. Do you think that that kind of perspective has been sort of addressed enough?
No, I don't think so. And I think this is something that the current leadership the community is missing out on, because there's a whole group of people that was born here from African descent, and we have to understand their way of life as well, and we have to look into things that they see, and we have to give them that voice, and we have to give them that platform, and we have to allow them also to have a say in all of these matters. And And so I think there is more that need to be done around that. You'll be surprised, especially there are some of the young people, I won't say most, but there are some of the young people that was born here. And these people need to be invited to the table and be able to voice their views and give some suggestions. And that's important for the leadership of the African community to look into and to invite them and engage them.
Yes.
Okay, I think there's not a lot of engagement has been done. Okay, so there's need to be more engagement. Even the next leadership of the community need to engage these people, not only engage them, but involve them in the leadership process. You cannot just get all the Africans from the continent here to occupying leadership roles. You have to give opportunity to people. You have to give opportunity to the women. You have to give opportunity to Kiwis that are from African descent here. So those are things people need to look into to be able to build a strong community.
It's correct about what you're saying about women. It seems to be a very male-dominated conversation at the moment. What do you think of, I'm going to ask a man, not very PC, but I'm going to ask a man anyway. What do you think the reasons are that women aren't engaging in the conversation as much? I know I've got a big mouth and I don't apologise for it, but, why do you think not enough women or young women are actually getting in there and saying what they want to say?
I would want to believe is the concept, is the mentality, the African mentality, where a lot of the time men, they are dominating. Women are placed at the back. Women take the second role. So I think that mentality to some extent has spilled over into what we are doing here, even though we are far away from Africa, and which I believe, in my view, is not a good thing, because we live in a world where there are equal society, when we need to give everybody the opportunity, both men and women, the opportunity. And I just feel that maybe most women feel that they are not being given that platform and they have been forgotten. They don't, because most of the women are used to not talking. Just sit and let the guys talk. Just sit and let the guys run for office. Just sit and just watch. Your place is in the kitchen, in the house, and the guys should be making decisions and running. But people fail to realize we are in a different environment. Things have changed, and in my view, I think the women are strong enough and capable enough to do whatever the guys are doing. So I think most of the women feel shy, talking, because they know already the concept or the mentality. Probably they will be shut down, or probably they will be seen or viewed as trying to, occupy a place that is not theirs. But I feel most of our sisters and our mothers, they don't need to be afraid. They need to speak out. They need to step forward. They need to occupy our leadership roles, because I think women are brilliant leaders. And for example, the whole community, the ACCW, have been male-dominated. And we have seen what has happened in the past. I don't want to go over those things, which was not really good for our community. So it's an opportunity, as we're starting afresh, as we're revamping the whole community. It's a good time to be able to give females and our sisters the opportunity to step forward, push them, support them, to be able to run the community as well. It doesn't mean that guys are not capable. It doesn't mean that women are trying to overshadow guys. No, but men has had the opportunity to run the organization. Men has had the opportunity to have their voice being heard. And it's about time we see females. It's about time we see not only females, but new faces, young faces. And, that's my view.
Thank you so much, Nathan. It's been great to have you here. I know you've got to head off now. So you heard it right here on the Blackhouse. We want to hear from women in the community. We want to hear from young women in the community. Don't be afraid. If some people need to be told to be a little bit more respectful, let me take the hits. But I think it's really important that we get these opinions shared out here. What do you think?
Oh, yes,
Nathan?
It's important. It's so important. And it should be. People need to share these opinions.
Yeah.
And people need to come up and say what they feel about the community, about women, about youth, about a lot of different issues. It's important, because all of these things just help us build a stronger, inclusive community, a powerful community. This is what we are heading to. We want a strong community that will be a voice for our people. we are out here, we are far away from home, and there are people who are born here who have not even been home. We all need to unite, come together, and be able to stand out for each other. There are other communities that are standing out for themselves. Okay, we cannot afford to not stand out for ourselves. So we need to really come together, stand out for each other, and just build a strong community so that will be able to, create change and progress. Yeah.
Before you go, I've got only one more thing to ask you. It was being thrown around on the main African Wellington's WhatsApp group, community group, the idea of a community centre, like a central point. What do you think of this idea? Do you think this is a feasible idea, or, just give me your opinion?
I think it's about time. I think it's about time we do have a center. If we look around us, there are lots of different communities, and most of these communities have a center. They have people part of those communities that have somewhere to run to. In our community, young people don't have anywhere to run to. Okay, so we need a center, an African community center, where you'll be able to host events, where you'll be able to, people will be able to run to for help, where you have a lot of different, so to say, departments or offices or whatever, but we do need a center where we can identify where will be like a central hub where everybody can run to and do things and create, these are all part and parcel of having a strong community. So if there's anything we need to be really working towards as a community, we need to be working towards a center, because this center will just bring us together. You have a place to run to. People are just left out there to fend for themselves, while there are other communities, they have places that they can run to in terms of needs, or whatever it is, they could run to. So I really do think that having a center is good, and I think it's feasible. Once we come together with one understanding, we can accomplish anything. There is nothing impossible. I don't see anything impossible. I believe once we are determined, it can happen, and we can build a better center.
And we've got 2 real estate people in our community that I know of. So we could probably get something.
Yeah.
Something good. Something good. Yeah. That's the way. So it's now, what is the time? 3:35, so you've got to run, right? So thank you very much for coming in. We're going to keep running these conversations with people in the community over the next few weeks while we head up to the elections. So if you want to come up here and speak, you know where to get in contact with us on the Blackhouse. That's the Blackhouse 106.1 FM at gmail.com. So if you'd like to come in for an interview, I'm looking for bookings for after the weekend after the 24th. So please just get in contact with us. We're happy to talk to anyone about anything. If you're a member of this community, the African community, just come up here and say, come in, and don't be scared, because we're very friendly.
Exactly.
And we like to have lots of little jokes in the meantime. So anyway, coming from one of the oldies who actually probably more identifies with the youngies, only from that point of view that, like I grew up here, that's the only thing. So I can sort of understand that frustration, and I also get that thing about technology. Right. I know it's hard for me, and I didn't grow up with technology around me. So for me, operating more than 3 apps at one time is melts my mind. Yeah. So I can, but I think also there are ways that we can include people that don't really understand technology to help them be involved in it. So it's like it's all a learning curve, all the way around, and you never stop learning.
That's right.
That's the thing. Even doesn't matter how old you get, you never stop learning. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, Nathan. Thank you so much for coming in. We're going to shoot to a tune right now. Next on my hit list is, let me just see what's going on here. I'm going to go straight to Sheba Williams. Now, Sheba, if you haven't heard about Sheba was a firm fixture on the Wellington scene back in the 90s and early 2000s. She's hailed as one of New Zealand's most unique artists. Sheba Williams is a Caribbean New Zealander with a unique blend of sounds that she dubs calypso. Many of her songs sound like a combination of calypso, funk, and Jill Scott Heron style spoken word. Definitely worth a listen. This is Sheba Williams with On Point.
Down in Pike, I get icky weather. Boys are freaky down in Pike, I get icky weather. Girls are cheeky down in Pike, I get icky weather. Boys are freaky down in Pike, I get icky. Better boy called Tony. Long legs, we was out in Petone. He asked me if I would meet him at the Wellington station. I said okay, we took a locomotive train out to Paikakadike. Some be going down and the boy be getting freaky. When I said I like the things you're doing to me, you make me stop and listen to my heartbeat. Ain't no when I boom, da-da-da-da-da-da. Make my heart go flutter, make me feel okay. Mr. Tony, it's such a lovely feeling. Down in Paikakadike weather, boys are freaky down in Paikakadike weather. Girls are cheeky down in Paikakadike weather. Boys are freaky down in Paikakadike. Well, do you wanna count it by the sea for you and me so we can sit and watch the sunset every night and drink lots of liquor in the club, in the pub and go dancing? Tony, do you like to dance? Say it, sweet girl, cause I wanna be a baby. Give me your key or anything, cause maybe we could be in a cottage by the sea down in Paikakadike weather. Boys are freaky weather, girls get cheeky weather. Boys are freaky weather, girls get cheeky weather. Boys are freaky weather, girls are cheeky down in Paikakadike. Tony is a boy that I met last night. Don't know if he's any good, but I just might get on a train on a Saturday night and get a little bit of freaky with Tony. Get freaky with Tony like to lick me. Do you like my home cooked kedgeree? Do you like bubble of sweet for tea? Wake it do, wake it do, wake it do, wake it do. 3 beds for Tony. Nice boy from Paikakadike weather. Boys are freaky down in Paikakadike weather. Girls are cheeky down in Paikakadike weather. Boys are freaky down in Paikakadike weather. Girls are cheeky down in Paikakadike weather. Boys are freaky down in Paikakadike weather. Boys are freaky.
All right, and we're back on the Blackhouse. We're having a conversation in the back of in the back here. All right, so that was Nathan, and he's had to go away. He had to shoot off now, but we're going to talk a little bit about the festivals coming up. Now, you've just attended this women's festival.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
That was amazing. And last week I went to Zoe Moon, like to Tara Open Late Night. She was amazing. Like, yeah.
Oh, I missed that too. Like, yeah. So what was that all about? Because it was at an art centre, yeah?
It was an art center. So every few months, the City Gallery would do an open late night, and it would feature different artists. And Zoe Moon was headlining, and she did like a solo show, just 1 hour performing all her songs and singles. And it was such a good crowd, like coming out. Yeah.
Oh, awesome. So now we're talking about festivals. Everybody knows that the Newtown Festival is happening tomorrow. Yeah. You're going to be attending?
I will be. I live in Newtown. Don't come out.
You can't miss it, actually.
Yeah.
It takes over the whole of Newtown.
Yeah.
And basically, all the streets are going to be closed off. I don't know where all the stalls are, but there's usually stalls. Mm-hmm. The African people, different people in the African community will have their own stalls there. Usually you've got Ethiopian food, you've got African materials and clothing and adornments and ornaments and whatnot going on. I'm hopefully going to be checking out a lot of those different things as well. I get tired when I'm on my feet all day, though.
It's draining, though. There's like so many people. And
I mean, last year Did we have one last year? I don't know. Did we have one last year?
I was in Newtown Festival last year, but I don't remember. I feel like I did see some African like stalls.
Yeah. There was one last year.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think I went to a couple of things, and then because I live in Newtown,
Yep.
I just
Pop in and out.
gapped it back home
Yeah.
until the after parties, because I
right.
really like the after parties. And one of the favourite places I like to go is Baobab on a fine night, because they've got that garden bar, and it just turns into this crazy outdoor party, which is like it just reminded me of like some of the nightclubs I used to go to in the areas in Kijituanyama in Dar es Salaam.
Right.
Like just the neighbourhood clubs were all outdoor clubs.
Yep.
So if you went to the city, they were indoor clubs, but if you were in the suburbs, they were all outdoor clubs, because it's tropical, you know?
Yep.
And it was just one time I was at a club, and a swarm of, I don't know if they were crickets or locusts, came over, and I was like, what the heck is this?
The nature just like...
It just flew over, and I was like, what the hell's going on? So, but that's what it reminds me of at the back of Baobab. It's very outdoorsy. They've got a bar outdoors. Everybody's just like in tables outdoors, and it's a really nice little venue. Moon usually has an after party.
True.
I think the one on the corner of Hall Street and
Bebe Moss?
Bebe Moss. I think Bebe Moss does an after party. They've got quite a big venue there.
Yeah.
And usually the Newtown Social Club, the little one, but that it spills mainly out onto the street. And from the looks of the things along Ridderford Street, there's going to be other places that have built, like a place to sit.
Yeah, like a little outdoor, fence area that you can kind of...
like outside Black Coffee, I think it is. Yeah. And also all the streets are backed off. So all the streets running off Ridderford Street from the hospital all the way up to the roundabout on the corner of, I think it's Mansfield and... Well, that end, the south
Domino's,
end. That end.
That's true.
Yeah, that's about as, and all those side streets in between. It's grown a lot since it first started. Yeah, a lot. So I just want you guys to be on the, just look out for some of these artists while you're out there. And the first one Zoe Moon. She's an artist with a wealth of songs bursting from her soul, Hawaiian-born, Aotearoa bred. Zoe Moon's daughter of Taj Mahal, who is Taj Mahal and Shira. Shira is a really lovely lady, and her dad's quite a famous multi-Grammy Award winner for blues music in the States. She's going to be on the Colombo stage from 2 to 2:45. So the Colombo Street stage is the one where the Newtown Community Centre is.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. And then we've got Esther. She's going to be on the South stage from 4:15 to 5. So she's that's the headliner, isn't it?
Yeah, that
for
is
the
a
day.
big stage, yeah.
Yeah. So she's got her music. She creates sonic amalgamations that merge culture, language, and legend. She's a phenomenal artist.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so please get to go down and check her out. Esther's background is Cameroonian, so yeah. And also we've got Keto Carlo. So Keto Carlo their name brings together their two backgrounds, with Keto from Jess's Nigerian side, translating to welcome or how are you, which is commonly used as greetings in Nigeria. And Carlo is Carly's DJ alias, choosing to go with a genderless name. Jess explores neo-soul and French house music, while Carly found her love for DJing as she dove into the world of house music. Together they make and perform tribal house and melodic techno, and they're going to be at two places. They're going to be at Gordon Place Stage from April, at 3:15 p.m, sorry. That's the Gordon Place Stage. Now, where's Gordon Place? I'm just trying to think.
I have no idea, too.
I think it's one of the streets that runs off Ridderford Street.
Oh, it's a tinier one, like...
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I have to just look it up on the map.
Yeah, there'll be maps there.
But they're going to be at Bebe Moss at 7.
Yeah, that'll be
so that's Bebe Moss is the one on the corner of...
Hall Street.
Yeah, Hall Street and Ridderford Street. So... that's actually a really nice venue too. It's quite large.
It is. They have like backyard and a good like indoor space too.
Yeah,
so it'd be really nice.
I think we ended up there really, really late.
Really? Last year?
Yeah, last year. We sort of went Baby Moss, then we passed through. It was like people were just walking on the street because there was no traffic. They'd kind of like people were just walking in the middle of the street.
It's a street party.
Yeah. It's basically a street party. Yeah, absolutely right. And of course, Sam Manzanza, he's a Newtown Festival regular, and he's going to be at the Baobab Red Room from 8 o'clock till 10 p.m. And everybody knows Sam. So, also, I don't know where all the stalls are. But I know our boys are going to be. Unesu and Munya are going to be having a stand in Arnie Street, and they're going to be selling different things because Unesu's always got a side hustle going on, and they're also going to be doing some nyama choma, and we'll probably be playing some Afrobeat music while we're there. And and definitely look out for the fashion. I think the fashion. I'm hoping Susie's going to be there with her African fashion stuff.
Is it handmade, homemade, and like?
It's kind of that's the stuff that Jessie was talking to us about. That she models a lot of Susie Adochi's. Susie's. I'll just say Susie because I know I can get that pronunciation right. Susie's work is the stuff that she models on her Facebook page. So a lot of the clothes she's modelling is either made by Susie or made by a woman called Con. So hopefully they'll have some stands there somewhere too, and maybe even Zanaka, the African store that's at the end of Taranaki Street now. So that's running, just down.
Yeah, I've seen it before. Yes.
Yeah, on the last block, just before you get to Wakefield Street. That's Rodney's new store. So, hopefully they'll have a stand as well with their stuff as well there. But they get a lot of people coming. Anyway, we're coming into the 50-minute mark. We've got about 8 minutes left. I'm going to play another track, and this is Ruby Doo. She's another current titan in the New Zealand music scene. Jamaican Kiwi Ruby Doo brings the biggest, baddest sound to the scene with her dancehall and reggae fusions, coming off the back of the summer festival circuit. This is her most recent single, Highest. Ruby Doo grew up with the influences of the Rastafarian movement through her parents, and Highest really showcases those influences. So, this is Ruby Doo.
I study. We born a spliff and all a vibe. Only with the highest study. Rolling with the king, we take a trip to paradise. Whistler in the sheets, we born a spliff and all a vibe. Only with the highest study. Even though we hide the conversation deep up in the sky, but we bros we a keep Babylon one like guitar. Them can't wait. The king no one me want. Good ganja weed in a society. Them want to free it up. Different variety and different kind of bud. Whether in a tea or the steam or a bubble. The good sense Emilia keep you out of trouble. So hear me now. Inna me brain. The healing of the nation, it's a call my name. Inna me head. Blaze it in the morning, marijuana are the best. It's a sure shot. Now go in a powder, we no want that. Vibe up, it's a sure shot. Can't lift out me ganja, me no want that. No, we tell them say, I study. Rolling with the king, we take a trip to paradise. Whistler in the sheets, we burn a spliff and all a vibe. Only with the highest study. Rolling with the king, we take a trip to paradise. Whistler in the sheets, we burn a spliff and all a vibe. Only with the highest study. Oh, what a blessing, you hear my lad. Oh, the remedy. Loading up the chalice with the sweet sensei. You know way up the recipe. Burning up the highest of the highest. Yes, the fire I go blaze. Now each and every one of it promote the higher grade. 5 drop a day, keep the doctor away. Yes, I tell goodness, keep the cancer at bay. Sending all the wickedness away. When we tell them it's a sure shot. Now go in a powder, we no want that. Vibe a feel up, it's a sure shot. Can't lift up a ganja, me no want that. No. Highest of the high. Rolling with the king, we take a trip to paradise. Wisdom in the sheets, we burn a spliff and all a vibe. Only with the highest of the highest of the high. Rolling with the king, we take a trip to paradise. Wisdom in the sheets, we burn a spliff and all a vibe. Only with the highest of the highest of the.
And we're back on the Blackhouse on 106.1 FM. I always have a bit of a brain burp at that moment. I'm just thinking, Blackhouse.
Into the music.
Yeah, I'm just getting into the music. Hey, we're gonna go straight to our last track of the day. Thank you for tuning into the Blackhouse. Thanks to, I also want to send a special thanks out to Nathan for attending. We're going to go jump straight to a song. This is by Reza Biza and Soul. Just a bit of, we got to get to a bit of hip hop and stuff because, the OG DMX passed away today, which was pretty sad and a surprise. Yeah. He's really struggled with the things that he struggled with over the years. So if you're a hip hop fan, we got to play some hip hop.
Just to commemorate.
We just got to. So here is Soul and Reza Biza with Repeat. And tune in next week.
I've been on repeat, I've been on repeat, I've been on repeat, I've been on repeat, I've been on repeat. Are you feeling me? 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 I've been on repeat, I've been on repeat, I've been on repeat, I've been on repeat, I've been on repeat. Are you feeling me? 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 Hey, I've been on repeat. Can you feel the heat? I feel like a nigga walking so damn long, got blisters on my feet. Now I'm riding around a shotgun and I'm feeling fucking free. I'm on road in marijuana and no place to get it 3. You know I got a bad bitch in the bed with a big bag of the stank. Blow that loud with the windows down, I'ma fuck that bitch, no cap. I got Henny up in my drink, don't care why no haters think. You know my pockets, they be bulging like I robbed a fucking bank. You in the spotlight, but it's not right to be hot like that. Got my ice on, give me frostbite, no I got my neck. But I still got my check, so I got my flex. And I'm on repeat, so a nigga don't care what's next. I've been on repeat, I've been on repeat, I've been on repeat, I've been on repeat, I've been on repeat. Are you feeling me? 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 I've been on repeat, I've been on repeat, I've been on repeat, I've been on repeat, I've been on repeat. Are you feeling me? Are you feeling me? Are you feeling me? Are you feeling me? Are you feeling me?
Yeah, it been a minute, still on my pivot, running my numbers up, give me my digits, hitting the road, I'm packing my bags to my mom, back in the mom, stacking the rapper, just bring me a blunt, she wanna go back to the club, like where my manners, I don't like no cameras, I ain't got no time, we ballin' overseas like Giannis, nothing ever happening by accident, we plan this, Ammo Nation gang, we lining up like we the panics,
Spotlight, but it's not right, cause they're not like us. Try to walk like, try to rock like, try to talk like us. But I still got my checks, so I still got my flex. And my whole gang here, so a nigga don't care what's next.
I've been on repeat, I've been on repeat, I've been on repeat, I've been on repeat, I've been on repeat. Are you feeling me? Are you feeling me? Are you feeling me? Are you feeling me? Are you feeling me?
That program was brought to you by Wellington Access Radio. Get your voice heard.
Thanks New Zealand On Air for funding accessmedia.nz.